Hello, thank you for joining us on CoreTV News Hour. Hi, I'm Frank Omalapian here. Some of the reports we're filing at this time. A bomb explosion is reported to have happened at Ekwa Bisharawan by Federal Secretariat in the Tundawada area of Jos City. The bomb was said to have gone off mid-service at 9 a.m. when Christian faithful were in worship session. A second bomb which failed to detonate was noticed and quickly neutralized by the church security officers in conjunction with men of the anti-bomb squad who arrived at the scene in a swift response. Preliminary reports suggest no critical fatalities were evident and several people were said to have suffered several degrees of injuries from the pandemonium and debris at the site. This is happening exactly a week after the bomb explosion which occurred in two locations in Jos, at a mosque and a restaurant, killing 44 people. Just the Plateau state capital has witnessed a significant escalation in bombings and Boko Haram-related atrocities lately. It has equally witnessed significant levels of attacks from Fulani marauders, where they sack entire villages, killing scores. And now the suicide bomber driving a commercial tricycle has killed 3 persons and injured 3 others on Saturday morning in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. According to eyewitness, the explosion occurred at about 7:10 a.m. when motor parks in the town were full of activities as travelers get to join commuters' buses out of the town. The tricycle had attempted to ram into a vehicle that came out of the motor garage, where vehicles were joined to destinations outside the town. The tricycle sped after the vehicle, but when it could not catch up, was exploded and killed 3 passengers by onto the highway and left another 3 injured. The second explosion was said to have gone off by PHCN office near another bus terminal at Damawa Sunshine's Express around the Monday Market. Details of casualty could not be ascertained as at the time of filing the report. And now there are indications that military checkpoint might return to major highway lane around the federal capital in Abuja, and likely when the soldiers initially moved off the roads, their return is also generating mixed reaction. There's, however, a consensus that the dismantling of military checkpoints nationwide coincided with a rise in bomb attacks in some parts of northern Nigeria. Our correspondent Baziayo reports on the major argument for and against the return of soldiers to Abuja highways.
In the weeks following the dismantling of checkpoints, especially those mounted by the military, recurring incidents of bomb blasts have become the order of the day. Still fresh in the minds of Nigerians is the recent attack in Zaria on workers who were undergoing biometric screening, as well as that of Damboa on the outskirts of Maiduguri. For many, it would appear that the relaxed security presence had provided a loophole for the terrorist group to thrive. Now, some FCT residents want the soldiers back on the streets and highways. They say the inconveniences of traffic buildup can be endured in exchange for maximum protection of lives and property.
I felt, initially I was like, what? Does the president really understand the situation on ground? You know, I was like, who are the people advising him? That's why he needs to put his cabinet in place so that good people can really give him the necessary advice. So at that initial decision for taking it, I felt really worried. And now I think we are more comfortable. For me, it's a personal opinion. For others, it might be, oh, the traffic situation is coming back again. But I think it's good because the Boko Haram menace, you can't just predict them.
If they come back, it will be like of hell because they secure mostly on this road. The security of people and their property are saved at times. If they are coming back, at least they should make a provision for the vehicle to be running. As in, there should be no much tight of the road.
But this man sees no reason for the return of military checkpoints. He maintains that their return will only bring more harm to citizens and called on governments to adopt other security measures.
The reason is that since when the security are in the checking point for a long time, no any one day that they arrest any one of these terrorists or they arrest them with bomb or with anything. But we are the one that are suffering for it. Anytime you want to enter town, hold on, instead to enter town, you reach town around 9 o'clock, sometimes we reach 12. So I don't see the reason that bringing them back, because there is no, I don't know which work they are doing there. They are just staying just to suffer people, because since they are there, no anyone there that they arrest any suspect, so there is no need for them to be on the road. That is what we want. And if they want to use security purpose for people, let them put some camera that can be helping them for their work.
For those who want the checkpoints back, it appears their prayers may receive answers soon. In the end, these citizens expect that government should from here on face the issue of national security squarely. Basia Ye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The People's Democratic Party says former President Goodluck Jonathan betrayed it with refusal to allow a northerner become the party's candidate in the 2015 presidential election. According to the party's national vice chairman, South Cairo Ujobo, while speaking to journalists in Abuja on Saturday, he said the former president broke the shift path, an action that led to the party's failure during the general elections. The party, however, said it has learned from past mistakes and will therefore not take the zoning arrangement enshrined in a constitution for granted anyone. Ujobo admitted that Jonathan agreed to serve one term in 2011 but could not summon the courage to resist the advances by some party leaders to breach the agreement. He said northern voters rejected Jonathan and voted their son, President Muhammadu Buhari of the All Progressive Congress, during the election because the PDP candidate, former President Jonathan, went contrary to the initial gentleman agreement that he will govern for only 4 years and return power to the north. He, however, said there was opportunity for the PDP in the future because he believes that the APC-led federal government will not stand the test of time. And now there are indications that to further placate the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Shiwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, most forces in the party may have decided to influence his emergence as the chairman board of trustees of the party. The party is due for the constitution of its board of trustees on June 20, 2015, following the ratification of the process by the party's National Working Committee last week. Tinubu is a big brain behind the formation of APC by the four defunct political parties: Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN, the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, All Nigerian People's Party, ANPP, and a faction of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, now known as Legacy Parties, apparently lost out in the power game when his candidate for the Senate presidency and the speakership of the House of Representatives were defeated at the National Assembly leadership election. And away from there now, as the Ramadan fast gradually draws to a close, the Nasrullah Hifati Society has promised to project the best of qualities of the Muslim community in Nigeria. National President of the group, Camille Bolariwa, made this known in an interview with newsmen on the fringes of the celebration of the Lailatul Qadr, Night of Majesty, during the fast at the Nasfat village on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
As the curtain gradually draws on the Ramadan fast, Muslim faithfuls have been on the lookout for the Night of Majesty, Lailatul Qadr, the night which, according to the scriptures of Islam, the Quran was revealed. For the members of the Nasrullah Hifati Society of Nigeria, NASFAT, who gathered in their thousands at the Nasfat village on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, it's a time for religious and spiritual uplift with recitation from the Quran. For the president of the society, Camille Bolariwa, the society has succeeded in building knowledgeable people that will show the best qualities of Islam and stop misconception about the religion.
We have succeeded in building a knowledgeable set of people who can read the Quran with understanding. We now have a set of people who understand what truly a Muslim is and behave truly like a Muslim by living a life of discipline.
For the guest lecturer, a university professor and former national president of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, Abdulaziz Oladosu, the Muslim parent must do more in terms of attention to their homes and children in order to ensure proper upbringing both physically and spiritually. He also called for more attention to be paid to orientation and upbringing of the Muslim child to prevent wrong indoctrination, while for Abdullahi Akimbode, national missioner of NASFAT, the program is targeted at ensuring that Muslims, and especially the youths, are trained properly in the ways of God.
Incumbent on Muslim parents, first of all, to consider 5 aspects of life which are important for them to take care of. The first one, after having given birth to the children, is to work on the intellectual development of the children. I also mentioned the fact that it is important for Muslim parents to also work on the spiritual development of their children. I also called attention to the necessity of ensuring that Muslim parents give attention to physical appearance of their kids.
We're now seeing the youth, people in their youth age, in their teens, preparing to listen to Allah because they are the future leaders of tomorrow.
The women folk were also not left out.
Then we have many more women than men. That shows that women, we understand, and we are more religious. I think that is the way I look at it.
It is the women that is there. We pray for our men. We pray for our children, even for ourselves, and even for the family.
While the prayer goes on, many will hope that these and other related activities will help in raising a knowledgeable Muslim population and prevent misconception and misrepresentation of Islam as espoused by some terror groups.
And how the Ondo State government has debunked insinuations that it will receive a bailout from the federal government to pay outstanding workers' salaries, saying, however, that it's only received 2.2 billion naira accrued to it from taxes paid in part of June allocation from the Federation account, even as it puts the monthly wage bill at 4 billion naira. At a joint media briefing addressed by the Commissioner for Information, Kaude Akimade, and his finance counterpart, Chief Yale Ogundikpe in Akure yesterday, the government disclosed that the bailout proposal presented to the President at a recent meeting by the state governors was yet to materialize, as modalities on it are still being worked out. Making clarifications on the bailout issue, the Finance Commissioner said following the meeting with President Buhari by the state governors over the lingering issue of defaulting payment of salary and other contractual obligations, one of the things that was decided was that the federal government will find a way to bail out the state in terms of loan, and a fund in the excess crude account could also be considered for sharing, adding that nothing concrete has been done in that regard. You're watching CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a break now. Be back shortly. Join us again.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
All our top stories can be found on our social media platforms, like our Facebook page is facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow at CoreTV News NG. For previous programs and live view, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave your space, the news. Now, the increasing rate of kidnapping in the country has given many cause to worry, as most often the act leaves many parents and relatives in agony. In this report, our correspondent Amina Nebi takes a look at a kidnap case in Kaduna. The report.
The trauma the parents have to go through in search of their missing child from Patella Nursery and Primary School, Angoan Rumi, Kaduna State. Call it agony of a mother and you would be right. This is Justina Christopher crying her heart out over her missing 5-year-old son, Miracle, who was kidnapped from school on April 16, 2015. According to the father, Christopher, he asked his eldest daughter to take them to school.
One man now come inside, see, he see one motorcycle, the carry motorcycle come inside the school gate, and the nanny is on outside selling the pure water. For outside, selling the borehole in the outside. So they say one man enter, where he enter, he now carry the Miracle, put on top the machine, they take him away.
They told us that when that Miracle came to school that morning, so the auntie now came to school. When the auntie came to school, the auntie now said that Miracle should come and escort him to our house.
Mother of the boy, Justina, said one Ode had earlier contacted her to pay the sum of 1 million naira into his account to help search for the missing child.
He said, I should know where my baby is in Port Harcourt, that he want to help me. I should not inform police. The account number that he sent to me in my set, is in my set now. If he's calling me as if I want to peace for.
She also accused the police of not being committed when the matter was reported to them.
Police said that they should come and join me. We pray anybody that is going to church one day, we should go 10 times.
For now, the search for Miracle is still on. It is hoped that one day, little Miracle will be released by his kidnappers and he will be reunited with his parents. Meanwhile, Miracle's parents have stopped the remaining 2 daughters from going to school out of fear of being kidnapped.
We do also hope that relevant agencies will also do something about that as soon as possible. Away from there now, the unfinished 230,000 megawatts power plants project at Ohaji Egbeman, Imo State, Southeast Nigeria, is to be revisited and completed. This is the outcome of the meeting Governor Rochas Okorocha held with the contractor and the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. Correspondent Ajibade Awofeso has details.
In a meeting with Governor Rochas Okorocha, the Niger Delta Power Holding Company and Rush Company, which are the 2 parties handling the project, at some point traded blames with each other over the delay in executing the project. However, Governor Rochas, acting on behalf of the federal government, asked the 2 parties to sheath their swords and channel the way forward.
So I want to the quick solution of the result. Then what can we do immediately to solve this problem rather pointing accusing fingers on each other? I'd like to know what is the solution and what.
The MD Rush Company, in response to the governor, says they are ready to get back to work if those issues hindering them, such as insecurity and community challenge, are resolved. He called on a speedy resolution of the death of 2 of his men in the course of duty, which is still pending in the court.
Of the 173 million, we have roughly 30%, which is not released. 70% therefore has been paid out.
Okay. Now,
the NDPHC representative on his part suggests that a subcontractor be brought in to assist in completing the project, considering that 70% of the total cost has been paid out.
Project is being held on. And what we have agreed to do is to do something from now on. Let us just stop the blame game. Whatever happened in the past, let's think about what to do to complete it, because Nigerians need life, and these SPGs can no longer continue. What the NDPHC has done in recent times, from our discussion with Ross, is that we have agreed to sublet this contract to get a subcontractor, and that was what I was trying to point out initially. In my opinion, I think Crossing should allow a subcontractor into this contract to assist them in getting this published.
At the end of the meeting, it was agreed that work should commence at the site extensively next month and to be completed within the next 10 months, all things being equal.
Now, barely 48 hours after suspected assassins killed Iyaloja General of Ijebuland, Alhaja Sadiat Ilewuju, the authorities of the Nigerian police force have assured the people of Ogun State that the killers responsible for the dastardly acts will be apprehended soon. Speaking at the Itorisaba resident of the late Iyaloja yesterday, the State Commissioner of Police, Abdul Majid, hardly sympathized with the family of the deceased and assured that machinery had been set in motion to arrest the perpetrators. Ali revealed that the command has spread a dragnet of investigation network across the state in order to unravel the circumstances that led to the death of late Ilewuju. The Commissioner of Police said the case was an asset text for his leadership as the new police boss in the state. He enjoined the family members of the deceased to cooperate with the command in its bid to conduct proper investigation into the crime. Well, of course, that's a wrap on CoreTV News at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll see you again.